How's it going there, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Tommy, aka Pyrotoz, and today I'm going to bring you a moveset guide on Grimmsnarl. This thing is the first Dark Fairy type introduced into Pokémon. Should have been Mega Absol, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Grimmsnarl is a very interesting Pokémon in that it has some good offensive potential. It's just kind of held back by its speed stat. I'll show you the stats here. So Dark Fairy, Prankster, Frisk, and Pickpocket are the abilities. You probably don't need me to tell you that Prankster is the best ability out of the lot. Base stat total 510, not too bad. HP is very good. Attack and special attack are good. Defensive stats are not great, and the speed is also not great, so it can really do some good work with Prankster. But honestly, I think that's what holds it together in a competitive sense. Otherwise, it just gets outsped by everything and destroyed. But regardless, it is a very good, unique typing, and there are quite a few fun things you can do with it, so let me run through some of my favourite sets here. The first set, and probably the most common set you'll see, is a Bulk Up set. So Prankster Bulk Up is obviously very good, raises your defense and attack before they get to even move. You got Sucker Punch for damage, and obviously it ignores speed, so you get the priority attack there. Spirit Break or Play Rough for extra stab. I personally prefer Spirit Break, just because it doesn't miss. I really don't like the 90% accuracy on Play Rough, but if you're going for damage, definitely go for Play Rough. I think the secondary effect of Spirit Break is definitely nothing to be sniffed at either. Very nice to lower some attacks, especially for walls. That means you can easily set up a little bit more and, deal some more damage, force them to switch. But, like I say, I think this will be the most common set. A little bit of speed investment to outspeed base 70s uninvested, so that puts you above stuff like Bisharp uninvested, or Sylveon, or Corviknight, that sort of thing. So I think it's worth having a little bit of speed in there. But mostly you're relying on your bulk there with the bulk up, and the good base 120 attack stat. And Drain Punch is there just to obviously get your HP back, and more importantly hit Steel types, which obviously would be a big problem for you given that you're weak to it. So very nice coverage move to run on this thing in my opinion. Second set I'm going to cover is a Choice Band set. So I've decided to go with Play Rough here for the Fairy Stab, just because if you're multiplying it with a Choice Band, you probably want to go for the highest possible damage, therefore Play Rough over Spirit Break. For the Dark Stab, I would probably go for Crunch just for that chance to lower defenses. You can also go for Darkest Lariat or Throat Chop. They're both pretty decent alternatives. Darkest Lariat is a little bit more powerful. Throat Chop can affect stuff like Sylveon when it switches in, so it can't Hyper Voice. But yeah, like I say, I would just go for Crunch here. Superpower there over Drain Punch just because you want to maximise the damage output, and then switch if you need to. And Trick, which always works nicely with the Prankster ability to cripple stuff. So, not as good as the previous set in my opinion, but I think it could potentially do some work. Means you don't have to set up and can immediately hit really hard. Third set I'm going to cover is a Nasty Plot set. It does have pretty good attack, not as good as the physical attack, but good nonetheless. So it seems a shame not to cover a special set. So first thing you'll notice is I've gone with Frisk over Prankster. I really don't see the value in Prankster Nasty Plot when you have to wait to use your other moves anyway, so in my opinion just go for Frisk. The only reason I would say to not use Frisk is because it obviously reveals your ability when you use it, and therefore it might be better just to bluff your moveset by running Prankster. I don't know, that's up to you. Personally, I would just run Frisk, just for the utility there. But as for the actual set, Nasty Plot obviously boosts your attack. Dark Pulse and Dazzling Gleam or Draining Kiss for your stab moves. I'd go with Draining Kiss just for the recovery, but they're both good choices honestly. And Focus Blast to give you that fighting coverage once again for Steel types in particular. You'll notice I've also gone for Life Orb here, just because your special attack stat doesn't really come to par with your physical attack stat, so I'd run it just for that extra little boost, honestly, especially with Draining Kiss. I don't see this set being as good as the physical set, but it could obviously catch a lot of people off guard if they're switching into a physical wall. Then you do some massive damage with the Nasty Plot, Dark Pulse, all that sort of stuff, so yeah, potentially, give it a go. Final set I'm going to show you guys is a support set, a bit gimmicky, but I thought it was funny. We're going to go with Dual Screens, Foul Play, and either Taunt or Thunder Wave. Obviously Prankster is key here. You get up your Prankster screens with a Light Clay, and they'll do basically no damage to you. Then you have Foul Play to obviously hit for very high damage despite not being invested. Foul Play uses the opponent's attack stat as opposed to yours. And then either Taunt or T-Wave. Taunt is nice to prevent defog. T-Wave is obviously great for crippling stuff. So, they bring in a fast sweeper to try and capitalize on you being passive. Well, you just T-Wave them and then they can't do anything from there, so a fun set. Again, not the best, but I think it could very well do some work in the right situations. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. My name is Tommy, and I will see you all later.